Right, what we got here, quick review of a flashlight. So this one is the BLF. Now BLF stands for Budget Light Forum. Essentially, if you don't know, Budget Light Forum is for people who actually know what they're talking about with lights, rather than just some guy in your local Currys who'll say, oh yes, you need that one, it's got a xenon bulb. So it's a pretty good place. So this is obviously branded as an Astrolux, that's who's pulled it out, and you can see the actual tint is 3D. Now I think there's 3 tints on this one. I always tend to go for what's called a neutral. So tint is the actual colour profile of the LED. So I think 3D is natural, and then the other end of the scale would be a 5A off the top of my head, which is yellowy and kind of sepia, and then you have an A1, which is cool white. Now I don't like the cool white of the sepia, I want it to look natural, so that's a personal preference thing though. So that's what I've gone for in this one, and let's get this open, let's have a look. Let's get my knife. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. Okay, so if you get hungry, don't eat. So what else have we got here? What's this? Looks like a lanyard, if you happen to need one. Looks like it's an adjustable one. That feels nice. Now, is that broken, or is it supposed to make a clicky noise? Don't know. That's adjustable, and that looks like a quick release. Oh, I like that, as long as that's sturdy. Yep, that looks pretty good, I like that. So we'll pop that away in the box. What else have we got? Right, flashlight, here we go. So get that out the way. Pop that out the way. Okay, so here's the flashlight, and you can see it's got what's called a deep carry. So this extra bit means you can put it right down in your pocket, which I like, and this looks like it's reversible. So if I pop this off, yeah, it is. So you can pop that off, put it the other way around, and then if you imagine, you can put that on the peak of your cap or hanging down, and where you look, that looks. So I like that, because if you notice how I carry my Thor fire, I carry it on my shoulder, so if I'm walking along I don't need to actually hold it, I just need to press the button on and it shows me where I'm walking. So I'll pop that back on there. Feels solid, yeah, pretty good. Push button, but if you notice the button's out of the way, so it can't be whacked by accident. So I like that, and it looks to me like what's called an orange peel reflector. So you can see that orange peel in the reflector there. The reflector is just a piece of tin foil really to reflect the light out, and it's supposed to have ultra clear glass, but this is from China, so you have to be a little bit suspicious. And this is the special edition, and I think it's a Cree XP-L, although I don't know those on site, so we'll check that. Feels pretty hefty, especially with the battery in, so let's give it a try. So it's got a lot of modes, so let's start at the beginning. So I turn this on, let's start this from scratch. Okay, that's moonlight mode, so pretty low. And then you have a higher mode, which is pretty nice, and then higher still, and then a higher still, and I think there's one more to go there. That's not turbo, but that's the highest. No, that is, sorry, there's 7, 8, and then back to moonlight. So we're doing okay. Now, in order to go through these, I'll show you what I'm doing here. So this is on, off, on, off, on, off. If you want to advance in a mode, you half press, so turn it on and then half press, so half, 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 half. See? In fact, that's so bright that's actually hot. That's burning my hand. Okay. Now if you want to go back through the modes, which gets you the secret modes, you long press. So that's turbo. Now that's too hot to put my hand there now. So long press again. That's strobe. Long press again. Flash, 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 flash. That's like a beacon mode. And then you have, I think that's beacon flash. So it provides a light, but it also flashes. And then I think there's one more. Nah, that's it. That's your lot. Turbo, strobe, or tactical strobe, and beacon flash. So that's nice. So that's hot now to the touch. So pretty decent now. Obviously these take the 18650 batteries, so I'll show you that. A nice O-ring on there, look. That keeps it waterproof. In fact, this is an IPX8, which means you can actually put this in water, take it out, and it'll still work. So I'll show you the battery that I'm using. It's an 18650, which is just a rechargeable battery. There. And I happen to be using a 3.7 3000 milliamp hours, and I think it's a Samsung 30Q, yeah. Samsung. I generally always get the Samsung or the LG, that's my personal preference. So I'll pop that in, and it feels nice going on there. That's pretty tight, there's hardly any play. So just as a size comparison, there's the BLF A6, and here's my trusty Thorfire, which I take everywhere. You can see it's been bashed up now. It's actually the special edition. So that's the Thorfire there. So comparable in size really. The Thorfire seems a tiny little bit longer, but that's because it's got the unnecessary tactical pushy bit on the end. So very similar. I think the only difference is this is about 1000 lumen, whereas this will go up to 1600, which is pretty damn good. That probably throws a little bit more than that. I just find that reflector is less throwy, by which I mean it spreads less. And as a size comparison, there's the TrueNight TN4A. So that's a pretty big one, but that does take a lot of batteries, but it lasts a long time. So I use that when I want to spread out more. That's an orange peel reflector as well, so that just shows you a size comparison there. So mocks out of 10. For the price, I would give it an 8.5, because if you're looking at something like a Night Core or an Olight, which are very expensive for that size, for that form factor, at this price range of, like, you can get them for like 15 quid, you know, like $20. So I think bang for buck, you're not going to beat that. And don't bother going on Amazon and saying, well, what I'll do is there's this one, it says it's 1,000,000 lumens and it's only $5. Trust me, if it's coming from China and it takes 2 weeks, they're lying on the specs. You know, don't trust that rubbish. Buy a name or something that you know has been reviewed. So I would thoroughly recommend that. Give it an 8.5. Totally worthwhile. Bang for buck, best you can get. Second best, Thorfire. I'm not going to retire this anytime soon because it's been through so much, as you can see. It's been an extremely good torch for me. And again, they're very similar. Although this doesn't have the deep carry, but you can reverse the clip. Take them away because I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm supposed to be talking about this one. So BLF A6 special edition, highly recommended as a torch. But the fun thing about torches is you know, you can swap and change, and it depends what you're doing. I quite like that clip as well. Spot on. absolutely spot on for the money. I would highly recommend that. So 8.5, thumbs up.